In April 2025, during a diplomatic engagement, Liberia's foreign minister and dean of the president's cabinet, Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti, formally conveyed to President Erdogan of Turkey the interest of His Excellency President Boubacar in establishing a government-to-government partnership to modernize Liberia's primary international gateway, the RRA. President Erdogan responded positively and committed Turkey's technical and financial support to upgrade the airport to international standards and to contribute to Liberia's broader economic development agenda. In fulfillment of this commitment, the Turkish government has dispatched an emergency accident response team to the Rabat International Airport. This swift intervention underscores Turkey's dedication to strengthening bilateral ties and supporting critical infrastructure development in Liberia. This visit precedes a scheduled visit by a high-level 7-member Turkish delegation, which was initially scheduled for June 10th to 13, 2025. The delegation, while in Liberia, will conduct a comprehensive assessment of RRA's operational capacity. The delegation will also assess current conditions and identify areas in need of urgent and long-term support. The emergency deployment marks the beginning of a deeper strategic partnership between Liberia and Turkey. The initiative is part of a broader economic diplomacy strategy led by Her Excellency Sarah Beslow Yanti, who is actively engaging international partners to attract foreign direct investment, create jobs, and drive Liberia's development through robust infrastructure projects. The government of Turkey remains firmly committed to supporting Liberia's vision for a more efficient aviation sector and looks forward to advancing bilateral cooperation in the coming months. So they are not here to only investigate the incident that occurred at the airport a couple of days ago, because I see some media entities are reporting, oh, as a result of the incident involving the plane that brought the president back from the ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration, the team is here to investigate. They're not only here to investigate. There have been prior negotiations between Turkey and Liberia, and they pledged a commitment. So their visit or their arrival in Liberia was only accelerated because they should have been here from the 10th to the 13th, and they are here today, the 5th of June. So they only accelerated their arrival, but it is not solely to investigate that incident. They're also here to assess the airport, critical areas, the operational capacity, and everything to bring it up to international standard. I have to say that because the news was fast spreading the other way around. As a country, we are still celebrating a major victory that was achieved by our election at the UN Security Council. That election was historic. Even though Liberia as a country has served in that position before in 1961, but unlike what happened in the 60s, when Liberia could not get the vote, the required number of votes to serve the 2-year term for 6 weeks, there was a deadlock who could not get the required vote, because even though you are going unopposed, but you need to get the required number of votes. That is 2/3 of the membership of the United Nations. Liberia in 1961 could not get 2/3 of that number. And so for 6 weeks, there was a deadlock. The vote was taking over and over. We could not get the required vote. So as a result of that, that deadlock had to be broken. And Liberia jointly served that 2-year term with Ireland, 64 years after. We ran a campaign, a message that met the satisfaction of our international partners. And in 2 hours, Liberia got 181 votes, thereby being elected to the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member. It's a major victory for our country. And we have to say that people who want to take away from this victory by diverting the national conversation to say, oh, the president spoke. The president spoke after the votes were announced, the results. And I will read verbatim one of the paragraphs in the president's message to the nation. We stand on the shoulders of giants, including Joseph Jenkins Roberts, Edwin Barclay, William V.S. Tubman, William R. Talbot, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who flew the flag of Liberia high on the international stage. Other icons of this democracy that we enjoy today, as well as countless unsung heroes who kept our nation's spirit alive through adversities. This moment is the fruit of their labor and prayers. To all Liberians, home and abroad, the victory is yours. Let us rally together to make this tenure a success. When Liberia sits at the council, it will be your hopes, resilience, and dream that she will carry. This is what the president said. This victory for all Liberians. We see attempts by others to say, oh, this one belongs to this one. You should have recognized a person. I thought the president was very inclusive in his speech. He called on the nation to celebrate because this is our moment. I've always said that in everything the government does to move this country forward, the fourth estate has got a pivotal role to play. The way you drive the narrative can sometimes take away from the substance. And it's not good for our country. Today, the president is on record to have said that those who claiming projects from one place to another, for him, everything his government does is for the Liberian people. This victory belongs to the Liberian people. It is not a victory for his government. And he was very emphatic. It's a moment that has increased the standing of this nation on the global stage. Don't forget that this odious republic on the African continent a few years ago was a victim of stigmatization in the international realm. Sanctions were imposed on us, arms embargo. So to come from that level and ascend to the echelon of global decision making, it cannot be the accomplishment of any government. It is an accomplishment for the country. For the country. And until we can begin to see this country beyond our narrow political interests, we're not going to make any difference. The country scored major victory. You say, oh, they should attribute to you. This thing about personalizing everything, sense of entitlement, it didn't help us yesterday, it will not help us today. So the president has rallied the nation to celebrate this victory. And as a government, we will continue to echo that call that it is about Liberia, and Liberia has won. The Liberia National Police has confirmed that it has 2 individuals in custody. They have been invited in connection to ongoing investigation in the Capitol building arson attack. One of the individuals, Bacchus Kape, is at the police station. The police will talk to him when his lawyer is available. The other individual, Christian Kofa, was represented by counsel, and we are told by the LMP that significant progress into the investigation will be made today, and hopefully they might be formally charged and filed to court. There will be no room for speculation. This is why the Ministry of Information is here, to explain to you what the government is doing. So contrary to information being circulated on social media by some of our friends, nobody has been kidnapped. The police got a duty to investigate. The Capitol building is a symbol of our democracy. And some individuals, for reasons best known to themselves, decided to set it ablaze. And I have always said that when a crime is committed, the security apparatus, the government, has got a duty to reestablish order. Identifying, arresting, charging, and prosecuting people linked to that crime is the process of restoring order. You remind them that as a government here, in the crime you committed, the things you did, as per our criminal procedure law, the penal law, are considered crimes in our jurisdiction. And so they will be prosecuted in keeping with law.